Hi there, welcome to Carcassonne. Tonight it's Krishna versus ComplixVandh, both pretty strong players from their respective countries, both winning their national qualifiers. ComplixVandh was able to oust Daniel Ayala in the finals back in November, I think. And Krishna won his final versus Napalm, so not your regular fare there. Both had to fight for it, and it was good for them because neither Napalm nor Daniel Ayala were able to secure a spot in the qualifiers, and so just winning the nationals was the best route for both of them. In the Champions League, though, the going will be definitely a bit tougher for both. ComplixVandh's schedule is over here, and well, beating Krishna an upset win today would surely boost his chances to make the playoffs, but he definitely would still have a shot because he's for sure capable of beating all his other opponents as well. Same can be said for Krish, but if we take a closer look, at least Viv and Mikhail are definitely very strong opponents, so a win there is definitely not guaranteed, and even the Hungarian master Mozopal won't be an easy win for Krishna. So looks to me like he definitely has to win today. And of course, he'd be my favorite as well, just due to Ilias, well, never really been able to stay above the 700 threshold. Sometimes he's even trouble to keep the 600 rating, but when the going gets tough, he usually gets going and is able to play his best, and I expect nothing less today. Krishna, on the other hand, top rating in the 800s, but sometimes there are these faults here. Don't really know how to call these else. I mean, drops by 150, 200 elo points shouldn't happen to a player of his caliber, but if you play a lot of arena games in a short time span and don't pay the attention you quite likely would if it were a tournament game, this just happens. So it looks like they started on time. And here we go again. I'd favor Krishna in this game, so blue is Elias, that's ComplixVandh, started with a straight city by yellow here, immediate attack by blue. And Krishna, of course, first chance he gets, another city for him. Yeah, nice move here, threatening this square, trying to threaten these two city meeples. And if that doesn't work, well, maybe taking over a long road might be okay as well. Yeah, for now, he has to take care about his city on the left, might even protect it by claiming 2 points. But he rather takes the aggressive approach, going for the restriction there. One dagger is already gone, but the next one is in blue's hands. And blue has 2 options. your one would be fine. The problem with closing the right city is that two of the left-handed daggers are already gone, so any restriction over here would be quite difficult for him to counter. So in that case, I wouldn't really mind closing the left city, but it works fine. Doesn't meeple the field, just plays more patient than that, usually at least. For now, there are multiple options to take this later, so unless yellow were to go here, there should always be a chance to take the field later if yellow snatches it first. So wait and see seems to be the approach of the Mexican, at least in terms of the field. For now, Krishna was able to close the city on the left side with this. Dorito, this slight restriction of Blue's road seems to be a good idea. Also, creating just another city, one to use Doritos and big city tiles, whereas the left one would be the prime option to use extenders, twin caps, maybe even simple caps there. So still no decision by yellow about this road project in the middle, but for now, harassing Blue's road here could be a good idea. He goes for the double harassment approach, trying to play against two of Blue's features. Did not work out, and well, if there were a shield here, this here would be really interesting, but there isn't, and therefore he just closes both cities, which endangers Blue City due to the lack of daggers. Takes the field with this meeple just because the threat of Blue closing the city and taking a 9-point field is just too huge to not address this. A problem of this meeple here, of course, would be a limitation like the cow from the top, and something on the right side would really be totally annoying. But unlikely that Blue would use anything over here if they can prevent this and use it more profitably for their city, of course. Meanwhile, yellow doesn't get anything to further complicate Blue's road situation, but at least they threaten to kill this road meeple. Blue could save this one, but they'd rather open a safe city on the right side, threatening yellow's city at the bottom into a starting tile block possibly, but not really that potent when there are still 3 starting tiles left. And also adding anything city-wise over here is likely to end up on yellow's field anyway, so just staying away from this one with cities might be a good heuristic in that case. So another loop road doesn't really help yellow. Going over here, preventing blue connecting this, so Yellow would have an option to kill only the blue meeple. Might be okay, but he doesn't go for this. Instead, tries to create this connection here. At least it looks like it to me. Because blue, in the meantime, dropped the farmer up top. Tried to attack blue city, wasn't successful. Blue immediately defended. Even though there's still an option for yellow to attack or harass that city. But with the road monastery, there are better things to do. So multiple options available, of course, as is usually the case for one of the two most versatile pieces in the deck. Problem for yellow is they'd rather not extend the field to the bottom. Although these two squares might be very good monastery spots, and the other problem, of course, they only have the one meeple in hand. So in the end, they just use this as a road end, considering that a lot of crossroads are already gone and they might need the rows to close their city up top. Yeah, sure likes an okay play. But for now, yellow needs to get creative. Dropping a farmer here, not. Okay, we'll see about this later on. Again, problem being is the third row, so only one regular crossroad left. So this connection here is rather easily restricted to the remaining crossroad and therefore a 50-50, and that's why yellow didn't use it. Also being efficient here, scoring 2 points for the road. They didn't. Why not? Yeah. I don't know what happened there. Terrible blunder by Krish. Yeah, blue goes for the insurance option, but again, there's only one crossroad left, and Krishna knows it. Doesn't take 4 points. Immediately restricts blue's connection, because if yellow wants to have any chance here, they for sure need to take away this field from blue. Blue, on the other hand, now needs to protect, of course. Still the one crossroad left. Yes, I don't think there's anything else they should consider. Okay, don't care. These 6 points seem to be enough for the second farmer, which actually might be true with a lead of 30 points on the virtual scoreboard. But if you consider that there are 5 cities on this field, takeover would net 30 points for yellow, unless they'd use this one to take the field over, because then was these 9 points we'd have to deduct from the 30. Also, there's still the second road monastery left, so I'd love to see an attack like this by yellow. There are other ways to still attack the field as well. This here, by the way, was a kill by yellow, so mini battle won there. The road in the middle doesn't matter at all. Yellow really can't go for this one. There are way too many options to attack this. They could try this, but again, there'd be options to attack it, and therefore they just hop on the field now, hoping to connect via Road Monastery. Don't like this farmer at all. This is easily killed from the top with Road Doritos, horses, and there's still a dagger left. Yeah, there's still a left-handed dagger, and also with that one, so 6 pieces, rather 6 pieces over here to immediately kill this option. And there was the chance to kill either of the monastery squares. On the other hand, the cow also adds pressure on Yellow City on the left. Now, and Yellow has the last crossroad. Whoa. Whoa, so I'm not sure what to make of this move by Krish, because either he hopes to just outscore the field somehow, which is unlikely at best, or he just went all in, hoping to take a unified field over. So going here, killing this one, adding his second farmer from the bottom, plus adding a third farmer from somewhere. And then, of course, taking these 6 points, these additional 6 points away from blue might be just what he wants. Therefore, I'd be rather cautious with a move like that, because blue didn't connect the third farmer when they could. Yellow doesn't kill this. Sorry, folks, but I don't understand these moves. What is Yellow's goal here? If it's not taking the field over, I don't get it. Yeah, I'll refrain from suggesting Road Monastery moves here. Let's just wait and see what Krishna does. Very sneaky farmer by blue, by the way. Either they connect here or there. Yeah. totally fine. Still 3 curves left to immediately get this one back. What is happening here? Why does blue protect this one? Why don't they just connect? Let me refresh. Am I missing something? Yeah, blue could now kill all hopes of yellow city on the left side. Just dumping a Dorito there would accomplish this. Although, no, this not. This should more or less do it. Yeah, sure, yellow could still draw Dorito and both caps remaining, but that's rather unlikely. Instead, blue takes this move, which, yeah, complicates a field attack on the right side, but why? I mean, what the fuck? So now blue adds their third farmer. Okay, totally fine. Fourth farmer, sorry. But why now? You had your chance earlier, so I don't get this. Not at all. Yes, so with 4 farmers on the field, there's still any hope for yellow. They need to add 3 farmers. So this one with a curve and another 2. No straight left, so this square is dead. Going over here could work, but only if you hope, or if your opponent gets the remaining road Dorito. So yellow doesn't even try this one. Could still try to connect here, but again, the second or third farmer doesn't do anything with 4 blue farmers on the field. So yeah, this one here, I mean, I don't get it. I mean, that's beyond benefit of the doubt. So I mean, if you go there and in the hopes of taking over the field, then you sure have to kill this, and yellow didn't. It's all over the place. Looks like they switched their strategy or tactic back and forth here in the end. Well, middle game. Yeah. We'll have to take a closer look at this game after it's done. For now, the Mexican will win this one, and Krishna has an uphill battle here. on his hands. Maybe he mistook some farmer for, I don't know, something else, but yeah, will be interesting whether he'll chime in the chat or maybe later on this stream or in the comments what really happened with all these moves here. And also would be interesting to hear from Elias why he didn't immediately connect here when he had the chance and even went there instead of connecting. Yellow found another field attack, but doesn't score any points because there are already more farmers by blue on the field than here we go. Yeah, not sure what's up with Krish here. Hope he brings his A game in the next. Else this will be a rather short stream. So let's see. No mentioning break. Then they should start the second right about now. Let's see. Yeah, looks like here we go. Okay, a sane move to begin. Another one. 3 for 3. Yeah. So far, so good. Let's see if both continue on this way. First interesting decision for blue. One dagger already gone, so just equalizing the cities here seems fine. Else you might get restricted to exactly this dagger on the left, or, and in some cases even, and the right hand of your city. First city attack. Didn't want to build a larger road here, even though this square is vulnerable. They'd rather try to go after these two road meeples. Didn't really work as intended because blue was able to continue with the road there while also going for this attack. And now this here is a game of chickens. So yellow with the first usable tile over here. Blue desperately needs a big city or Dorito to prevent yellow from taking over this city and threatening to run away with the game. Straight doesn't really help here to protect their chances, and yellow quite likely should restrict options for blue, but they don't, which I understand given the 3 starting tiles which are already gone. And so they didn't like giving blue the chance to restrict this road to a starting tile up top. And let's see if they'll go after this city with the Dorito now, at least a restriction like that, while also starting a new city of their own, giving them the chance to restrict this one to the one and only remaining starting tile. Seems to be a good idea. Well, this extender, of course, wasn't fit to protect this, because then there'd be kills of the city with horses available for yellow. What blue really needs would be a cow or a field Dorito. Actually, I would have liked on this move here, just to prevent being stuck there and possibly getting a straight, which weren't able to protect your city. But for now it worked out for them. Now quite likely they protect the shared city. They don't. Well, then yellow will attack it. So blue again tries to restrict yellow's city, yellow's road. Yeah, yellow attacks here, of course. If blue doesn't defend, why shouldn't they? Sure, 3 Doritos are gone, only 2 left, but there are still both splitters in the deck, so it's actually 4 pieces going over here, not giving another attacking option. Yeah, and I'd expect this one here taking away the option to harass or restrict or attack the shared city, and that's exactly what Krish goes for. Blue tries to kill the square, isn't successful. Now there's only 1 starting tile left to kill this, but there are multiple Doritos and splitters to at least prevent yellow from running away with the city on their own. But you need to add a meeple there, and there is just the 1 cow left in the deck, and blue is down 18 points already. After the 6 points, now 12. Doesn't really look great at all for them. Also, yellow has this threat of closing the city with 2 Doritos there. Yeah. So blue needs the cow if they want to have any shot. Else they need meeples back ASAP to claim the main field. Quite likely they could also try to play against this city and block it somehow. Monastery isn't really great for yellow. Can't play against either of blue's features on the right. Can't improve their road. There's not a lot to do with this monastery if you don't have meeples in hand. And your best shot to get a meeple back is this shared road. So really no good use of the monastery. They opt not to use this monastery square or to take this monastery square away, which could be an invitation to blue later on, because they are the side that's more likely to get meeples back. But maybe it's also bait, hoping that blue would snatch this monastery square when it's rather easy to restrict it. Yeah, blue's likely question now is whether they should try to restrict this like that or go for the starting tile restriction here. Neither. Okay. Well then, looks like they hope to draw the cow and then attack this city, but this doesn't work. There's nothing left. These 3 extenders are gone, and this was the last cow. So why not go after this one here? I mean, at least create an option to restrict the square instead of dumping this one. Yeah, again, doesn't really make sense to me. This farmer, on the other hand, of course, makes sense. There are already 3 cities on the field. There are more waiting in the wings. And yellow still has only the 1 meeple in hand. The best they could do now would be to take away a cap. Likely not this one, as whoa. They'd rather would like to protect the option to get a meeple back there, but taking away the cap on blue's field was their priority. Blue hoped to kill this. Didn't work out for them. And yellow will snatch 4 points. 2 immediately with this road, 2 more for this here, and how perfect draw for blue. The problem is they need to meeple it. They don't. Wow. There are still 2 horses left out of 20 tiles. And you'd still had some options to get a meeple back immediately, so not going here is playing with fire, to say the least. If it weren't for the many crossroads still out there, I would even love to see a field attack now, but this won't happen. Looks like yellow might attack the field here, or maybe even just take this one on the left side, or here possibly. Yeah, this one here would be nice, because if blue closes the road, at least you'd be able to tie the main field, and you'd have an alternative route as well. And the problem, of course, is for now, yellow doesn't need the field, but if they don't go for it, blue could extend it. Oh, and there is no curve left. So this here is a shoddy farmer. And this here will be the move that cost blue the game. Or this one. Maybe both. Yeah. So deservedly so, yellow got one of the horses to close the city. Now they are at plus 11 without even tying the main field. They have more meeples in hand. Well, maybe I have to eat a bit of humble pie here because there is still this one. But is there even a connection left? Yeah, there is, but it's an outside chance only. So blue would have to get this dagger. There's only the one left. They'd have to get the vanilla, only one left as well, and another road piece to connect. Oh, and they need a curve or a road monastery, and there's none in the deck, so scrap that. Doesn't work. Yeah, then what else is there for blue? Not a lot. Something like this would work to take away 6 points from yellow, but doesn't look like this will happen. Yellow attacks with a second farmer, and they don't even need to take over the field. Yeah, so being stingy with meeples and maybe miscounting regarding the left field connection. Did blue in here. And this looks like a nice restriction, but actually there are still 2 crossroads left, so it's rather likely that yellow will get at least one of them. So finally, I think this is the 5th or 6th match I cover. It's the 6th. And everything else were clean sweeps. This one here will need a decider, and of course, you know, I like deciders quite a lot. I guess you too. Hey, Janis. Okay, blue drops another farmer. This could make it to the main field still. If they get the crossroad and a curvy. Yellow could kill this if they want to. And they should actually. because if blue gets the crossroad, okay, this is easier. Just connect your second farmer, then it doesn't matter whether blue does or not. Yeah, blue at -37. No chance to add 2 farmers, but at least they hope to tie the field and take another 4 points for the road. Yellow pads their score with 7 on the left. In the end, it will be a 20+ points win. And due to this move alone, it's totally fine with me. This time it's ComplixVandh starting the game. Yep. This I hope as well. Nice road. Also threatening, possibly restricting yellow city into needing a starting tile there. Didn't work out, but at least in some cases it might. So definitely a good threat and the best position to start a new road with this piece at least. Yeah, and a tricky decision for yellow. What to do? Well, if you can't claim a useful city with this one, can't really do anything about this situation, which would help you, why not claim a 4-point loop road in the middle that only needs 1 out of still 9 curves in the deck? Especially if it gets completed on your next turn, of course. Again, just equalizing blue's feature like yellow did over here as well. Yeah, the situation in the middle looks very iffy for blue. Basically, they need to connect here, or at least dump a Dorito, but then they'd endanger their road. So the best way for blue might even be getting a triple city, closing the road, and then connecting. But of course, in that case, they'd risk Yellow drawing a splitter before they'd be able to connect. Sure, blue has the same option up top, so let's consider the splitters critical for now. And the one thing going for blue is the temporary lead on the scoreboard. Yeah, nice one by yellow. They don't mind this here. In some cases, this could even be a city for them later on, if they happen to draw a starting tile. Yay, yikes. More or less the best piece for yellow to get there, even if there's still a chance to attack this city, endangers this here and creates the usual diagonal problem. If you have two features which need pieces that in diagonally adjacent places, there is only in just a few cases perfect solution. And this here is not one of these cases. Yep, here goes. Blue attacked this city, gave yellow the chance to restrict the small city to the starting tile, and just wait for it. Yellow quite likely will hope to limit this one to a starting tile as well. If not, a dagger might also be an idea, just to force yellow's road to the left, and that's exactly what they are going for. So whenever blue fills one of these two squares, the kill of the other one would be very likely to happen immediately. Blue keeping their options of splitting yellow small city from the bigger blue one open, not giving yellow any chance of stacking a road there to take away the splitter option. Also about this one here, it creates free quick point road, which only yellow will take, because anything over here would of course endanger both the road and the city. Blue closes this city on the left, so no attack from the top possible, because they still are in the lead. They try to protect this lead with all means. So starting tile city is dead. Yellow threatens to push blue's road meeple into this square. Oh, it's not that. There is still one dagger left. Yeah, and I wouldn't mind this move here, taking away the roses from blue, not allowing them to close this road with one of the two roses, giving them only one crossroad. to extricate this road meeple. Let's see if blue finds this and goes for it. Is there anything better? I don't think so. I mean, yellow is down 15 points, but it could work. Restricting, blocking this one. Looks like they try to hold on to their meeple advantage, but then why not just restrict this instead of these two? $12 points, but 2 meeples more in yellow's hand. So blue's life here depends on drawing quick point tiles, and of course they'd love to get the final right-handed dagger to close this, and therefore they protect the city. But worst news of all for blue, yellow just got the remaining one, and they never in a million years will place it here. And yellow still has to score some points. There could be an interesting option to create a field at the bottom. For now, they kill this square here with these 2 meeples on it. And there's the rose. Completely unnecessary if you are yellow, but well, then blue might have just closed this one and taken the 4 points, even while also giving both a meeple back. And now both have 2 in hand. Yellow still at -12. Blue still with chances to connect there for 2 points, but they might not even go there because they'd rather create a ruin of their own, not giving yellow the chance to, for example, take over a bigger city to score points, which would give yellow the option to make up for the difference on the virtual scoreboard. A monastery this late in a game often doesn't work. There are still enough roads out there to make it work, though, and yellow has to invest their meeples in promising features, but I don't think this monastery is it. Nice draws for yellow, getting 2 caps in a row. Next monastery could be used to claim a 9-point field at the bottom. Goes for a restriction of this square so that blue can't even connect here anymore. But actually there's nothing to accomplish this. And does yellow have the nuclear option? They don't, because there'd be no more caps to close the city. And just taking these 3 points away from blue doesn't really cut it. So I guess they try to claim a field somewhere. Maybe this one, hoping to grow to the right. But the 6 points would give them the lead for now. Problematic at best. Monastery would be easily killed immediately with still 3 Doritos, because blue might use the triple city on the right side. Let's see if they go for it. They should, of course. There's still 1 rose left, which would score 5 points for yellow and give yellow the chance to close the monastery even. Other option for blue would have been to protect their city at the bottom, but the only 1 cap left, that doesn't do a lot for your winning chances. This here does. Yellow tried to restrict, or did restrict, blue city, but they also took away the option of claiming a 9-point field with a monastery, which in this case is to their advantage, because blue is the starting player and was more likely to claim this field. Yeah, another monastery for Krish. 7-pointer this time, if he goes for it, and I'm pretty sure he will. There's still 1 cap left to close this cap there, and this would be devastating if blue gets it and would be able to claim the city. If yellow would be able to do this, blue would rather claim this one if the monastery gets placed there. Or blue would just close this city. It depends on the tiles left, of course. Creating a second 6-point field might not be to blue's liking. Okay, nice move, very nice move. So yellow takes away the rose. If blue still wants to close this, they'd have to get the extender and afterwards the rose, while also dodging multiple pieces for yellow to immediately kill this. So blue protects the extender option. And forced the quadruple city. Actually not. Yellow forced it. If yellow hadn't placed their monastery here, they could have added the quadruple city on blue's small city. Well, if blue didn't go for this move, of course. Krish gets the remaining cap, and this might just be all he needs. Could claim 4 quick points, could also claim a ruin. I think 4 quick points it is, and then hoping to snatch the 6-point field. Yeah, absolutely. It's so close here. And absolutely a deserved decider here for these two high-level players. So he claims the ruin, but yellow taking 6 points is just all they need. So is this ever a winning move? I don't see a world where this is a winning move, because no matter what yellow gets, they just claim the 6-point field, 4 plus 3, and blue won't score 4 points with anything. On the other hand, if blue doesn't claim the ruin, then yellow could still go for the 6 points, and then blue would be down by even more. Yeah, I mean, this game alone makes up for the first one and the wonky moves in the first 2 games. Just a great end game, and let's definitely check what these two have to say, if they have to say something about this one here. Yeah, right. There's another 6-point field. And there's another one as well. What? Krishna scores 7 points from Monastery in the end. And blue had an 8-point Monastery. Come on. Nobody completed one, but there were points scored with monasteries. So let's take a look at the end game again. It deserves it. That's way too late. That's what meeple shortage does to the move count. Even that's too late in the game. Okay. Yeah, so well, considering there's still the Quad City out there and there are no horses, might have even been better to place this Dorito like that, to have an option to kill this. And if you need, place the quad city there. But this, of course, would give blue this option here to use the quad city, take over this one. So Glovia wonders whether blue should have used first Dorito to kill yellow's monastery. When and where? Yeah, this one here, that's a good question. Do you go for efficiency, scoring 5 points, or do you just take the meeple back and score 3 points? And I have to concur with Glovia. Getting this meeple back ASAP is definitely priority number 1 in this case, because there's only one cap left. No, there are 2 left. There's the second splitter. Well, then it's debatable. Okay, got you, Glovia. Yeah. It's tough. It's really tough. If you close this one now, the monastery here could win the game with the 12-point field. You might want to go for this option. But it's tricky. Let's check which tiles are still left. And yeah, okay. The remaining tiles support Glovia's idea of just closing the city. Just consider a cow or Dorito would do the same here, limiting this to the remaining splitter or rendering it a ruin. And then, of course, basically all other tiles except for the quadruple city would restrict this one here to more or less a 50-50. So yeah, in this case, playing it safer, just taking the second meeple back, not doing anything about this situation might have been the better option. In the end, there's still a second splitter, which you then could use for this attack. If you have 2 meeples in hand, then you could go for this 50-50. Even if it's not a Hail Mary, it's a 50-50. So why not? Yeah. I think you're right, G. Getting the meeple back should be the priority here. Alias, nah, blue isn't a bad player. I've seen them play worse. Maybe you have too. So what we are talking about now was whether you should have used the splitter to get the second meeple back. And well, there is consensus, at least among the 2 of us, which is Glovia and myself, that you should have taken the meeple back. This year wasn't as urgent as getting this one back in hand. Yeah, again, I still don't like this move by yellow. I get it, sure, adding 1 point to the monastery, hoping to draw the remaining cap, but it was so likely that blue would be able to kill this. I'd rather would have used this over here to take away some connection opportunities from blue and keep this open for the road pieces still left in the deck. This here also takes away the option to score 3 points with the crossroad instead of the 2 which are available elsewhere. So yeah, don't like this. Okay, Janis concurs as well. So 3 of us versus the 1 blue bad player. It is. You are outnumbered, Elias. Just deal with it. Nah, the chances weren't good to get this one back because more or less anything could have restricted this to a 50-50. And sure, you score 3 points, 2 points more on the right side, and you protect your connection. But still, I mean, we don't have a simulator, but I'd guess closing the bottom city would have increased your winning chances by more than this move. Hey, Krish. Yeah, yellow made a lot of stupid mistakes in the first one. I think I've never saw an 800 or a player capable of an 800 elo rating play such a shitty game. I have so many questions for both of you actually regarding the first game. Green meeples, yeah, whoever played green meeples, quite likely you, Elias, right? Because Krish usually plays red, if I remember correctly. Yeah, here we go, kill off this one, and the expected restriction of blue city, which was a great move. Okay, so Elias doesn't have a color preference. Well, maybe use green. It worked in the first game. So the only move that makes sense is continuing your city, of course. If you both stick around, we could tackle the first replay as well. I still have time. Yeah, this I like. Of course, Krish didn't go here because that would protect the city and not restrict it, as there's only the 1 cap left. Now blue went after this one. Dirty? Nah, playing green isn't dirty. Just ask Otto. Don't think he's a dirty player. So Elias, you harassed this one or well restricted it just for the forced quad city, right? Hoping to get the rose and then force yellow into this connection, I think at least, which sounds fine to me. Would be a great way to win the game. Yeah, but yellow, so Krish obviously didn't mind, prioritized taking away this option. Instead of claiming the 7-point monastery up top, which in short term, doesn't do yellow any good, but because blue could score the same points with the rows somewhere else. But of course, this allowing blue immediately getting a meeple back is worth placing the monastery there. Okay, I miscount as well. Well, that's a shame. So you'd still thought there were a vanilla cap left when you placed this straight, quite likely. At least if I understand you correctly. Then this makes even more sense. Yeah, and then there's the forced quad city. Blue taking the lead for now. Really no use in this attack, because for one, you need to draw the cow, and then there are 5 out of 8 tiles to immediately kill this one. No, 6 out of 8 tiles. The cow, of course, would be a kill as well. And what else is there? Well, just create a bigger ruin. Yeah, looks like Globia was right with his assessment 10 minutes ago. Whoever would get the precious 4 points with the rows would win this game. Yeah. So this is still good. I mentioned the extender and the chance to close this in the live stream as well. It's totally fine. On the other hand, you could have switched to a ruin here, given there still were these 2 cows and a Dorito left in the deck. But well, in some cases you need the cow here anyway, so maybe just hoping for the extender and possibly does the extender even work? Yeah, with the monastery in, or one of the monasteries in yellow's hand. No, the monastery. It's the last, right? Yeah, it's the last. With the monastery in yellow's hand, this would work. Everything else would block the city immediately. So only a slight chance to still close this one. But doesn't matter. In the end, this here was the winning tile for yellow. Yeah, enough said about the remaining moves. No chance after yellow took the lead with the rose for blue here. So, Krish, you still there? Then we could tackle the replay of game 1, else I don't really care. Connection to the big city. When, with which part? Oh, with this? No. With the cow? With which tile, please? Triangle. The one at the bottom? Ah, extender. Right. Yeah. Totally missed that one. Right. Damn it. This then begs the question whether yellow should have scored 2 points instead of 4. Because if you just scored a 2, you could still either claim the ruin or one of the many 6-point fields. No, this ain't a 6-point field, but there are 2 here, which could be enough, right? So yellow just taking 2 points to prevent this one. And yeah, after yellow didn't, blue absolutely had to go for this one. I mean, it's 10 points, and it's the only shot at winning this game. Yeah, 10 plus 2 is 12. The extender is a shielded one. So 14 points versus at most 8 for yellow. Those, no, not 8, 9. 3 points here and a field. That would have been a +1 for blue. Yeah. Okay, well, then again, should yellow have prevented this one? I don't think so. I think the additional 2 points do more for your winning percentage than taking away this option from blue, because blue getting this one and the extender after it was rather unlikely, but let's figure out how unlikely. So we have 5 tiles left. We care about Dorito and extender. A, which is in this case Elias, needs to get both. Nah, not both. He needs to get the Dorito before he gets the extender. Don't care about anything else. Really? That's wrong. That's completely wrong, and it should work. It doesn't. Wonderful. Okay, next debugging session. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. So there are this is the wrong player. And then still bullshit. The fuck is happening here? Nope. Nope, nope, nope. It's still wrong. And completely wrong at that. Okay, then let's do it the manual way, right? Yeah, it actually should take into account that the order matters. That's the before part here. And it worked before, but I'm not sure when I last touched the code and what I did actually, which is annoying because this exact situation is why I created that script. And I mean, you can see from these permutations, at least these are indeed unique, but it's totally messed up because only these 3 here are actually fulfilling these constraints, which would then let me to believe, yeah, we have 3 permutations that work. When we only consider Dorito and extender, let's just add other random tiles. And then we have 54 unique combinations due to the 3 pieces that don't matter at all. We should have 18 winning permutations out of 120, which sounds about right. Yeah, so 15% chance of getting the Dorito, and afterwards the extender for blue. So basically, if yellow plays the rose here, they'd take away this 15% winning chance from blue, but would only get a 2-point lead, and then they'd flip for the crossroad, which is the only quick point scoring tile left in the deck. And in the end, it wouldn't. Would it work for blue? Well, this ruin is at 5 points. So snatching this would win yellow the game. And therefore, if yellow kills this option, scores only 2, then blue would need to get the crossroad and one of the city pieces before yellow does. At least that's what I would surmise. Okay. And what's then the summary? Would yellow really need to go for this? Shame the tool doesn't work, but let's try again. So this time we care about crossroad, extender, and Dorito, and the need to draw extender or Dorito before B, which is in this case yellow. So Krishna gets extender or Dorito, and A, that's Elias. So blue would need to draw the crossroad as well. Let's check if this works. This works fine. So 30% chance for blue after this move here to get a city piece to snatch the ruin before yellow does and the crossroad. The problem though is this isn't enough. Blue needs to draw the crossroad and then a city piece to claim the ruin, because they need to score 2 quick points before claiming the ruin. And all this before yellow gets a city piece on their last turn. Yeah, so this then changes the equation, of course. Let's see. Yeah, crossroad Dorito and extender on the last turn, or in this case, crossroad Dorito before yellow gets an extender. So a 1 in 6 chance if yellow blocks this. Well, if all my other assessments here are correct, and I'm not 100% sure about this. And else, if yellow just does what they did in the game, it was a, what did we say? 15% chance, right? Let me check. Yeah. At least I'm still able to calculate fractions. So a 50% chance for blue to successfully execute this move. All this without taking into account that blue might actually not even go for this attack. So basically, it's just a toss-up whether you'd go for this or the restriction here. But I think after blue's monastery there, they more or less said, yes, folks, I'm going for this if I get my hands on anything to execute this move. So maybe it would have been better for yellow to go there. Okay, Krish, are you still there? Last chat comment 30 minutes ago, and I guess not. Then we really don't have to check the replay of the first game again. Because, but I think Elias might be still there, so let's check the straight. Oh, Chris is still there. Well, that's great. Then let's tackle the wonky field moves, which were quite interesting by both of you. If I only were able to remember which moves we are talking about. Yeah, first game, of course. Why not? Do you have trouble remembering the shit you played? I would gladly refresh your memory. Yeah, this was interesting, at least. I would have expected you to claim the field right then and there, but this actually wasn't really an issue. Yeah, so first question for Elias, why the curve here and not protecting this field connection? Because sure, it's a nice 6-point field, but having this option of connecting this farmer to the main field, when it's very likely that Krish would go for this somewhere. Definitely would have been on my docket. Yeah, okay, but if you don't know whether you should connect or not, keeping this option for you, why not? Also, having a chance to harass Yellow City might have been nice as well, right? I mean, it's not likely that Yellow would go for the kill here before they close the city, but still. Okay, so Elias prioritized getting the second meeple. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine, especially with only 5 scabs left and still a lot of big city tiles that could complicate this meeple situation on the right side. So yeah, totally fine block. Blue gets the meeple back. This is also fine. Yeah, yellow snatches the field. Like it. Yeah, next question for blue. You went here when there are 6 tiles out there to immediately kill this connection. Did you just want to take away this option from yellow, or did you just ensure against yellow getting this meeple back, having another field? I mean, you could have gone for killing this monastery square and later this one maybe. I would have even liked this one way better because it takes away a lot of options for yellow to unite these 2 fields. Okay, so blue doesn't care whether the connection is killed or not. Okay, just doesn't want Krish to take this. Yeah, well, if you don't want Krish to take it, just place the cow there, leave the field empty, then he won't go there. So no need to invest the farmer, I think, which actually sounds like a good option. And the problem of not going after this square here is the still existent road monastery, which could allow yellow a takeover of the field with a 1 piece. Okay, yeah, I don't like that farmer at all, but there will be other questions by me. So, Krish, why did you connect this one here? I mean, at this point in time, you are down at -24. Sure, it's an 8-point move for now, but do you really think you'd be able to outrun blue's field? I mean, you have the 2 cities here. Sure, that both closing both would score 8 points, give you meeples. I think it's possible, and therefore I thought that's actually what you were gunning for, because I don't see any other reason to unite blue's fields. So am I right there, or had you something else in mind? Okay, yeah. So that's what we surmised as well. So yellow just uniting the fields because he didn't see any chance to fight for the field, which I'd have to say is wrong. Because for one, you had the only piece left to bring blue's second farmer into the field, and you still had a good chance to kill this square. And you already had two farmers in play, and both still had chances to connect to the main field. And if not, well, then there'd be other options to add a third farmer. Maybe even if blue decides to connect here, from here as well. So I think keeping your options open would have worked, and I don't see it as unlikely as you quite likely did to fight for the, let's call it, left field. Yeah, slim chances is correct. I'm just not sure whether your chances to outscore the field with cities plus whatever you get later on would be better, because there aren't really that many city pieces left. There is, yeah, maybe this field here, maybe you'd be able to unite. Yeah, sure. If you connect here, you of course can't use these squares for the road monastery, and frankly, you have to draw the road monastery yourself, else you are just lost, at least if blue adds their third farmer. Okay, blue gets another meeple back. Again, prioritizing meeple safety over attacking or uniting the fields. In this case, I mean, I criticized this when streaming live, but I think it's fine. Even though I didn't like it, but yeah, I get it. It still looks like blue doesn't need to add the third farmer to the field anyway. So they'd rather go for the +1 and meeple back move than the -3 move. Sounds fine to me. No, I don't like getting the meeple back. It's totally fine. I'm just not sure whether you need this meeple, but at 20 tiles, it will definitely come in handy. So it's totally fine to get this one back at this point, at least. But now you again didn't connect, and well, this I didn't like. Because this here, instead of simply connecting, yeah, okay, the curve is annoying. I get it. The curve doesn't really help here because it sets up a loop road, and you can't justify claiming that loop as there's no crossroad left, and leaving this in the open is shitty as well. Yeah, I get it. But at +17 with one meeple more in hand than yellow, do we really need to hunt on their 9-point field? Do we really want to give them the chance take over or tie the main field? Some cases. Could we construct something where yellow would add a second farmer here and then bring their third one into the field as well? I don't think so, with only one road monastery and no crossroad. With a crossroad, it would work like this, road monastery here, curve here. But I think with this permutation of tiles, it doesn't, but it does. So this one here, for example, if yellow snatches this field, adds another curve and gets the road monastery, also killing blues here, then we'd have 2 blue meeples versus, sorry, still wonky here, but 3 yellow meeples. Yeah, so I don't like the curve. Let's see. Yeah, sure, if they tie the main field, you still win. That's a given, but well, at least if they tie the main field by using this farmer in the middle. Or this one for that matter, because both are scoring 9 points for now. But I don't see the reason to try and go for a field unification here. You are ahead by so many points. I'd rather protect than try to assimilate yellow's feature. Just because of this option here, this alone. I mean, yellow could get meeples back, maybe even double down on this attack. Yeah, I don't like that curve. Okay, but then here, next question for Krish. Yeah, 3 points are fine. But at this point, when blue paved the way for at least one of your meeples into the main field, why not take 2 points, kill this, and then hope to add another farmer or draw the monastery to at least add the second one and possibly take over a unified huge field with 3 farmers. Okay, so Elias is saying that he thought that his 15-point field could be outscored by yellow's fields, which is a reasonable thought. And if it weren't for other options to still add more farmers to this field, I would like this curve. But in this situation, I just don't. So what does Krish say? Okay, Krish still had the idea of keeping all fields separate, and yeah, sure, something like this, killing this connection square, using the road monastery in neither of these two spaces, and it would still work. Why not? Yeah, exactly. Block this connection here. Yeah, I get it. But I'm not sure keeping the fields separate at this point had a great chance of success. But I mean, trying to take over the fields, the field, or a unified field rather, with the at least temporary meeple minority wasn't likely as well. So yeah, can't fault you for really taking 3 points. I mean, in some cases, in the end, just taking 2 plus these 3 here might just be all you need if you manage to close the cities. So yeah, I get it. So very nice move by blue. taking the field, basically killing all options of yellow still going for the main field or a unified field. And this is the fourth farmer. Not sure which one Krish missed in the end because he said so. Yeah, you're right. Krish is saying there are less cities on the left than on the right. Still not sure that's enough, though. This here, though, doesn't look like keeping fields separate. So what changed? I mean, this situation is this just a Hail Mary, hoping to get the curve, dodging this curve, or hoping for the curve? I don't know. Dodging this connection and add another farmer somewhere, possibly over here, connecting with the dagger, or I don't know what else. Over here, maybe. Here, all still work. Yeah, looks to me at least like a nuclear option. Not sure one that works, but why not try if you don't have any other chance? And after this move, I'm pretty sure that blue at plus 30 had to connect immediately. No comments? Come on. Share your thoughts. Yeah, so I think this connection would have been an immediate win for blue. But Elias went for this. So basically saying, I don't need this one on the main field. Let this farmer score 3 or 6 points. It's enough, and might be right, because yellow just doesn't have the meeples to attack the field anymore. Yellow would need to get both these cities closed and would then need to attack the now shared field, which has 8 cities on it. With 2 meeples. So getting them and then attacking the field successfully with 2 meeples could have still won yellow the game at this point. Okay, so Elias thought there was no way to lose at that point. Well, you're wrong there. That's for sure. Sure, chances were great. Again, yellow needs to close these before they can do anything else, or close the monastery for that matter. And it was unlikely, but still possible. And of course, Carcassonne is always dealing with possibilities. So I think this here was a mistake. And this, even though it would have cost 3 points and would have opened another attacking move for yellow, should have been the correct move in this case. Especially with yellow having no meeples in hand, so not being able to execute a direct attack. With the next cap, they need to either close the monastery or the city up top before, and then blue might have all the time they need to restrict this city on the left side to prevent a sad attack, and in some cases even basically kill all hopes of this here being completed at all. Yeah, but after this here, I have no questions anymore, I think. That was actually game over. Yeah, and then blue decided, maybe yellow still has a chance, and conceded 3 points to secure their lead on the field with 4-1 meeples. Quite likely because Elias just wanted to kill this farmer as well with one of the 3 remaining curves. Yeah, now he has meeples, right? Okay, I get it. Okay. Thanks to you both for explaining your thoughts, your ideas. I mean, if you rewatch this stream, I was flabbergasted, totally and utterly, completely puzzled at some of these moves, but at least now I do understand them. And even though I very likely would have played differently, at least many of these moves, I do understand them, and I do get why you played as you did. And therefore, it's actually great that we have this replay here and had time. And now, Krish, I had you are talking about this rows here where you forgot to meeple the 2-point road. We witnessed this, even speculated whether a farmer would be in order, but already then the shortage of crossroads was visible. And therefore, I expected you to score the 2 points. I mean, I even said you'd scored the 2 points, even though you hadn't, I think. The first road being this one here. Yeah, that was sure an interesting part of this game, especially the game of chickens around this square, whether anyone would play there or not, then yellow restricting the right, and yellow then placing the curve here, which I hadn't expected. Looked to me like Krish was hoping to unite the fields in the long run, else placing the curve here to extricate his meeple while having blue's meeple stuck on this 3-point road quite likely would have been a good consideration. Frankly, I would have gone for this move, even if I had the intention to connect the fields. Yeah, so it looks like Elias would concur, and Krish thought this was easier to block. Well, come on. I mean, my voice is strained, but let's take a look. Still have a few minutes here. So when was this curve? Okay, somewhere in between. this was it, right? Do you really think that this road here is more likely to be blocked than this one? Can't be serious, because if this gets killed, well, this one is dead as well. So everything you'd have to kill this here would be additional chances. So there's no way in hell this here is more likely to be blocked. Yeah. I mean, I thought you didn't want to expand the field to the bottom side, and would rather take this extension, at least with crossroads, away and hope to later connect here, possibly even adding a second farmer to take the field over this way, while also having this backyard for the second farmer. So this looked like, at least to me, like this was the main motivation for uniting the roads. But I think this here would have been the better move. I mean, there are still 4 crossroads left, so yeah. I mean, also the 2 road monasteries, which would be prime tiles for blue in that case. But even if they go for it, well, field as consolation might be worth it. Okay. So now Krish would play this here. If he'd get the chance again, then it's totally fine for me. So anything else anyone would like to still check? Else I'd call it a day. Doesn't sound like it. So then let's take a look. So Alexi talked about not being able to stream these 2 tomorrow. Then I quite likely will, unless other more interesting matches would be scheduled at the same time. I'm not sure about Cherry Papa versus Meeple over People, though. Depends. This will be rather spontaneous then. Yeah, thanks to all of you for chiming in, especially to Elias and Krish. And if any of you would like to co-host, just say the word. I'd be happy to welcome any experienced player for that matter. Oh, yeah. And before my voice goes totally, thanks for tuning in. I see you around. Bye-bye.